Welcome to the Hallenstein Center's new online program, Lunch and Learn. I'm your host, Gleaves Whitney. During our quarantine, we may not be able to journey beyond our homes, but that should not stop us from journeying beyond our minds. Today's journey takes us into the challenges of learning how to lead, how to study abroad in a place where the people are not native speakers of English. Our guide is Connor Cavallaro. Connor just graduated last Friday with his Master of Business Administration from Grand Valley State University. Along the way, he earned the Excellence in a Discipline Award for Management Information Systems from the Seidman College of Business. Last Friday, he also graduated from our Peter C. Cook Leadership Academy. All of us at the Hallenstein Center congratulate him, and we will talk to him about the work he has been trained to do, as well as his study abroad in Italy in fall of 2019, just before the coronavirus pandemic broke out. My conversation with Connor will go 20 to 30 minutes, followed by questions from our viewers. Our goal is not to go longer than 45 minutes in all, so feel free to begin sending your questions to us right away using the Zoom toolbar to do so. Connor, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Gleaves. It's a pleasure, and I'm excited to share some stimulating and interesting conversation with you.
Well, me too. First of all, congratulations on your graduation. What a way to commence, though. I mean, you're commencing your career in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes, something I really never expected to happen in my lifetime, but here we are, and we're making it through it. Definitely something that is different, being able to commence virtually and seeing my name pop up on the screen as GVSU was able to recognize those students who did graduate, which is something that is truly meaningful. And as well as postponing it to October or December to allow us to come hopefully when the pandemic ends and we're able to come in contact with other students.
Very good. Well, as I mentioned in the introduction, you just earned a Bachelor of Business Administration degree with a focus on management information systems. Tell our viewers, what has your education at Grand Valley and your experience to date trained you actually to do?
Yeah, so Grand Valley is a very interesting university that offers management information systems, and one of the most prestigious universities that is aligned with what is called the SAP Alliance system. And what they do is they align with, as I mentioned, many different universities, around 2,500 institutions worldwide. And they offer students not only cutting edge technologies to learn how to help businesses integrate all of their departments, but it also gives students easy disposal to ideas, concepts, problem-solving skills, ways to consult with not only people, but company-wide initiatives. And what Grand Valley has really taught and trained me to do is go out into the world and make an impact to help businesses, companies, and whether that's small or large Fortune 500 companies, use this technology and use things such as SAP or Oracle to really develop new ideas and new ways to solve problems that our world is seeing come into everyday life, such as the pandemic. And Grand Valley has not only have a great set of faculty to teach this, but a great set of students to help make that community ever so special and evolving as we continue to learn side by side.
And remind us again, what does SAP stand for?
SAP is Systems, Processes, and Systems Analysts and Processes, sorry. And what it is a ERP system that helps businesses bring together all of their departments and make transactions more easily processed. So it pretty much is a way of transforming paper processes, such as selling goods, to online and easy disposal of their sales processes or their purchasing processes, and it brings it all together into one database.
Connor, when did you first become personally or professionally interested in such a field?
Yeah, so as a freshman, I had no clue what I wanted to do. As many students don't know, but I went into a class, Management Information Systems, the intro, Management 268, with a specific professor, Megan Knoll. And she just opened my eyes so wide to not only what Grand Valley offered, but what opportunities were truly out there. And this class was so stimulating, so interesting to me because it wasn't just one subject. The real interesting thing about management information systems is it combines all different subjects: marketing or sales or purchasing or management. And it brings it all together to make definitely something that is not only challenging, but is also rewarding in the end. And she helped me bring me into that path and really introduce me into the world of technology and the world of business consulting.
And I'm curious now, since you've had this fine education, that occurred when there was no coronavirus pandemic. So how has the coronavirus pandemic changed the way you view what you do?
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot because obviously technology has been at the heart of being able to communicate with each other and continue business as we know it. And it just makes me realize that we're going to continue to have to make changes when the world changes around us. And technology will continue to be at the center of that to help us move forward and tackle these problems that we might not have known would occur weeks before they actually occur. And so the ability to pivot at last minute and make these changes and continue to help businesses change and stay up to speed and continue to actually produce what they have set out to produce is very, very important in our world. And I think that Grand Valley has trained not only myself, but other MIS students to go out into the world and to help businesses do this by promoting not only these technology products, but also giving our expertise as young creative minds to help them develop what they need to excel.
What's the hardest thing that you can think of about doing your work? What makes your work difficult to do?
So although I am still, I guess, just graduated, I've never had a full real-time job. I have had a few internships in the past, and the things that I've encountered are mainly people problems. And what I mean by that is, as an MIS student, I'm often put in the position between the technology and the people and how they work together. And often we see difficulties when things are changing around you and you don't necessarily understand how it's changing or why it's changing or what exactly is changing. And when you are the one understanding that and you have to communicate that to people who don't necessarily understand it, there can often be challenges in that communication piece. And something that Grand Valley has done very well is giving us excellent communication skills to understand the problem at stake and helping the people that are being affected really understand the benefits to what this technology is doing. And that is my job, is to communicate that and to help other people understand what we are trying to do to help them. And that is just one example. There could be many more that I have dealt with as well.
Well, I imagine these difficulties in communication, excuse me, can occur especially across cultures where people maybe aren't fluent in a language, or the culture promotes a different kind of work. And so what seems to be a technical problem to solve in your culture may involve other things. Is that your experience?
Most definitely. And I think we don't even not only just see that in the workplace, but also in every aspect of our world, in politics, in socioeconomic discussions. And specifically what I've experienced is in IT, there is a lot of different ethnically diverse people, and they come from a lot of different cultures. And helping everyone understand and get on the same page is definitely difficult. And as we're going to talk into a little bit, studying abroad is one of the main reasons that has helped me deal with those things and really fueled me to learn more about different cultures and to help bridge that gap of misunderstanding different things that we bring up and that we come from and our backgrounds and really just our roots.
Well, that does segue into the next question. As I said in the introduction, Connor, you were one of our stars in the Hallenstein Center's Peter C. Cook Leadership Academy. And one of the things that you sprang for was the opportunity to study abroad in Italy. And we helped make that possible through a very competitive process. And you came through that process shining and got a grant to do so. Why did you want to do that? And I can't help but ask, did it have anything to do with your last name, Cavallaro?
Yes, it most definitely did have to do with my my Italian last name. I do have some family, a few generations back, that lived in Sicily, so that was definitely at the root of why I wanted to head over there. But I appreciate your kind words, and yes, I really appreciate the donations and the grant that helped me get there as well, because through the Cook Leadership Academy, if I wasn't admitted, I would never have studied abroad. And it just gave me the true opportunity to learn what else is out there. And the reason that I wanted to study abroad was really, as you mentioned, to open up my eyes to a much wider lens, to understand what is out there and really dive myself into something that I was not comfortable at all with. And that being said, I didn't know any Italian. I didn't know what to expect. I've never lived in a big city. And those are just a few of the things that made me a little uncomfortable. And as I moved forward, I knew that being uncomfortable and putting myself in that place would really develop me, not only personally and internally, but also professionally as I moved back to the US, ready to take on a full-time job in the business world and hopefully making an impact worldwide one day.
So, regarding the language challenge, did you learn to read and speak Italian pretty fluently?
Yeah. Funny story. When I first flew into Italy, I landed and I went to a coffee shop and I walked in and expecting everyone to know English. And and I looked at them and tried to order an espresso and a croissant, freshly baked in a beautiful bakery, and they looked at me like I was some alien. After that moment, I knew I was going to have to dive into my studies pretty deep to learn Italian, to read and write, or to read, write, and speak. And over the course of 4.5, 5 months, I definitely learned enough to speak and to hold conversations with the Italians locally. That just gave me another true, authentic feeling of belonging. And it's given me an opportunity now that I'm back here in the States to continue that passion and to hold that special part of my heart that I created while I was over there close to me as I continue to learn a little bit of Italian here and there, so that hopefully one day when I do go back, I'm a little bit better than I was a little bit ago when I was there in the fall.
Listening to you, Connor, I think some of that Italian romantic spirit got into your heart. It's great, great.
Just
Well,
a little bit, yeah.
so living in Italy also gave you the opportunity to hear a lot about the United States. I'm just curious, what did the people you came in contact with say about our country?
Yeah, it was very interesting because I not only studied abroad with fellow American students, but Italian students, German, British, Australian, pretty much from all over the world. And I got to hear a lot of different views and their opinions on not only the people here, but the politics and the culture of how we live life in America. And in all honesty, a lot of it was negative in the beginning. And it kind of surprised me. I didn't expect that view from a lot of the students, but as we continued our conversations, they began to open up more and tell me a little bit about why this negative connotation of maybe stuck up or privileged people, which I didn't understand at the time. But as they began to talk to me, and these are younger generations, so around my age, Gen Zs, they began to say that their opinions changed, and they really appreciated meeting fellow American students because it not only opened up their eyes to what they had once thought of American students, but now could actually experience. And they said that although that it made it, the recent presidential elections have made it a little bit tougher for them to come to America, that they really appreciated our openness and willing to talk about these conversations, which they didn't quite expect us willing to talk about. And they thought we would be more closed off about that. And likewise to me, I was really interested to hear their opinions on what they thought about America, and they were willing to talk about their countries as well, which was great to have that open and honest conversations about worldwide issues and worldwide topics that we were able to talk about and discuss together.
And how did your view of the United States change as a result of spending several months abroad talking to students about your country?
Yeah, I think most definitely if we're talking about culture, it made me realize how fast I move on a day-to-day basis and how I'm always go, go, go. And in the Italian lifestyle, it's slow down, slow down, slow down. That was the first piece, is really cherish every moment of every day that you have. And the way and the pace of life in Italy and the way that they move and really appreciate family made me realize how fast at times I've been going and not open my eyes to what's around me on a day-to-day basis. And the way I look at the U.S. now is, although that we do have that go, go, go mentality and the goal seeking and the abilities to really get things done, that making that mixture of slowing down but also willing to get things done is a great mix. And I think that it has helped me and it will continue to help me see the positives in the future as I continue to hopefully travel and see different cultures and how they experience life and how they view America as well.
You know, I studied abroad as well once upon a time, and then West Germany. And I always love to ask this question: what did you miss most about America besides your family when you were abroad? Just curious.
Yeah, I think the thing that I missed the most was the easy disposal of water. And because they're in Trino specifically, you couldn't really get water easily. They didn't have, I guess, safe. It was safe, but it wasn't very safe water that you could just easily grab from your sink or grab from a fridge that has the water spout. You had to go walk maybe a half a mile to a local city water spout, fill up your disposable, your reusable water bottles, and bring them back to the house. And that really made me appreciate the easy disposal of water that we have here in the U.S. and so many more things that we take for granted. And it really made me appreciate everything that we have here in the U.S. that we don't really look at unless we look outside of what we really have.
And I think I know how you're going to answer this, but as you think about the things you really now miss about Italy, you know, from the perspective of a couple of months being back in the United States, what is it that you really want to incorporate in your life? The gift that the Italians did, was it the slowing down, or is there something else that you want to elaborate on?
I think it's mainly the appreciation of family. And the reason I say that is because for as many Italian friends that I met, each of them made me feel like family. And they really took me in. They taught me not only the Italian language, they taught me the culture. They taught me about who they are and were honest and open to me. And they even one of my friends invited me to his Christmas family dinner halfway across Italy. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go, but just the willingness and and the kindness in the hearts of each one of those Italians truly made me appreciate that. And as I came back here, makes me appreciate each one of my family, friends, coworkers, everyone involved in my life of I not be as open as the Italians were to me. And it makes you see the positives and the support that we can give one another and that we should give one another on a day-to-day basis, especially apparent in times like now where we should be building each other up and helping each other out and make each and every one of us feel like family. So that was definitely one of the most impactful pieces that I learned from living in Italy.
Oh, beautiful. So now you've come back and you came back to our Peter C. Cook Leadership Academy. What impact has the Leadership Academy had on you, Connor?
Well, I could talk about this for hours, but truly, as a not very mature student, I joined the Peter C. Cook Leadership Academy, and what it has done is developed me into someone who I never would have saw myself being, not only personally but also professionally. It gave me mentors, it guided me in life, and it allowed me to really see where I want my future to go. It helped me find my passions. It gave me the ability to network and really understand how to communicate with other professionals. It helped me learn so much more about, as I mentioned, my personal life, which I never expected before joining the Leadership Academy, allowing me to connect with fellows and really learn about their lives and make friendships with them and understand what can be in life and what is given to us and what we can make of it as we graduate college and join the workforce and attempt to help others and lead others through our actions and our service that we provide.
And now that you are a graduate, what are the next steps for you? What's the next chapter?
Yeah, so as I graduate, I have this whole summer free, and I will be joining Deloitte Consulting in Chicago come October. And very excited for that opportunity to come up, as it's a travel-based job, and I'm really excited to continue to dive into new cultures. Hopefully I can get an international gig, if not somewhere here in the US where I can help consult and teach other individuals what I've learned through not only the Cook Leadership Academy, but also school and fellow mentors that have guided me. And I'm just really excited to be joining that firm and seeing where it's going to take me next.
Well, you've got that romantic side of you. You're a dreamer. What do you dream of doing that would be the capstone of your work, the capstone of your career? Say your Super Bowl, your World Series. What would that look like?
So I see this as possibly changing, but each step in my life I've seen as a step up the stairway, and hopefully Deloitte is the next step up, and after that there may be a few more, but hopefully in the end I would love to take my skills of what I've learned in the past, my consulting and my leadership and my service, and I would love one day to lead a nonprofit to help younger students, such as what I was once in or as, and help teach them and help guide them and mentor them into showing what they can truly become, not only in life, but also professionally too. And this is something that has impacted me tremendously from not only what you have provided me, but the many mentors that the Cook Leadership Academy has given me. And I think that from what I've provided, I would love to one day give back to what those have given me by providing my expertise to the younger generation as well.
We have viewers queued up to ask questions, Connor, so let's bring them into our conversation. One viewer writes, is curious about what other destinations are on your travel bucket list at this point?
So besides going back to Italy, because that is definitely there, I would love to go to Africa and do some nonprofit and community service work there. Something that I didn't really mention is in Italy, it truly brought me closer to my religion, and that is something that has taken a huge impact on my life and moved me in a lot of different ways. And one way I would love to give back is by doing work in Africa for as much time as possible. So hopefully that'll be one destination one day that I can reach.
So this would be a mission trip.
Of course.
Yes. Another viewer asks, how was the classroom different in Italy compared to here in the United States?
That's another great question, something I could talk about for a while, but the main difference is how they take tests. And the classrooms there are, you come in and you go as you'd like. There's no attendance taken. There's no, you have to be here now and you have to go then. But it's all self-accountability. And at the end, you verbally are asked questions one-on-one by the professor. And if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you fail and you have to retake the whole class. And that is something that really opened my eyes. And I didn't ever think that education was taught that way at the university level. But in Italy, it's something that they think is really impactful. And as a young age, you have to be able to make yourself accountable, to show up and understand what topics are being talked about that day.
Another viewer writes, could you share more about the way your spirituality shifted or changed when you were in Italy and since coming home?
Definitely. So when I was there, I went alone. I didn't know anyone that was on the trip with me. No family, no friends, no one from my university. And being alone was definitely something that opened my eyes to being with the Bible and being with Jesus Christ. And that gave me someone I could always look back on and learn from and guide me in times of being there where I couldn't really talk to anyone else. As it's 6-hour time difference, I couldn't always reach out to family for a personal question or something that I just wanted to ask, sending a quick text. And that really helped me develop myself and really teach me about where I lie in life and where I want to be one day. So it was truly a great time for that to come into my life. And I really will always look back on it as a positive.
What advice or guidance would you give to an incoming freshman or a student at GVSU?
I would say be open to change. And the reason I say that is because at first I thought I was going to be going from point A to point B and checking off, let's say, 10 different things on that list to get to where I graduated. But I never realized how much I would change internally and externally from when I started school. And being open to change and being open to accept other people's opinions and learn from them and learn from your own failures, but also celebrate your successes is truly important for self-development. And that's something that I learned in many different ways throughout my career in college, and something that I will continue to do is being open to change and being open to trying new things, such as seeking a study abroad experience that I was not nearly comfortable enough to go do, but I did anyways because I knew it would truly impact me in a life-changing way.
And how important are mentors in this process of change?
They are the foundation. And the reason I say they're the foundation is because on a day-to-day basis, going through college, in all honesty, sometimes you don't trust your own judgment. And I don't know if that's for everyone, but for me personally, I had a lot of times where I questioned myself. And mentors, for me, were always there to back me up and to tell me your judgment is correct and you are moving in the right direction, and help you see the bright side and help you get past those failures and guide you into the right direction. And they're always a source of positivity. And that's why I truly appreciate each and every mentor in my life. And that's why I would love to continue to be mentor to others, to help them see the bright side in life, and to help them continue along their journey to find their passions and their purpose in life.
Connor, is there anything else you would like to discuss or mention that we haven't covered yet?
You know, Gleaves, I think we've covered most of everything about what we wanted to discuss here today. One last thing is, I guess, to all those other freshmen in college, I once questioned myself to study abroad. I thought, why do it? I don't really need it to graduate. I already have all my classes lined up. My schedule's set for 4 years. But I entered my senior year and I thought, why not? So I just want to tell everyone, whatever stage you are in your life, whether you're just graduating college, just joining, maybe at a tough time in work, maybe your 20th year anniversary at the same company, just say, why not? And maybe do something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable and push those boundaries just a little bit further. And it might change you in a positive way, as it did for me in my life.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Connor, for sharing your story and inspiring our viewers. The people who've tuned in can certainly see why you were so highly regarded at Grand Valley, and especially at our Hallenstein Center's Peter C. Cook Leadership Academy. We wish you all the very best. You're looking great, and you have a bright future ahead of you. Thanks also to our viewers whom I invite to Zoom in or join us on Facebook at the same time Tuesday, May 5th, when my guest will be H.W. Brands. Now, we call him Bill. He's one of the most popular speakers we've ever hosted at the Hallenstein Center. And I think we've had him here for about, since 2004, some 15 times at this point. The Pulitzer Prize nominated author will join me to talk about his most recent book, Dreams of El Dorado, A History of the American West. Till Tuesday at 1 p.m., stay tuned and stay well.